It was a good day, a good learning experience for really everybody. I thought that in spots we were really good in terms of complementary football. Defense got 3 turnovers. We scored 3 times off of those, a touchdown and 2 field goals, and I thought that was really good complementary football. Our offense ended every drive with a kick, either a punt, a field goal, or an extra point, which is what we always want. We had a nice punt and pin, and then defense did a nice job stopping them, getting that midfield. I know Dante wished he would have had that return back, but he certainly did a nice job of making up for it. He had a couple of nice routes and a couple of nice touchdowns, and I thought they connected really well. So to start the game, with the offense, I thought, what I thought Caleb did today that was really well was he had a nice professional day at quarterbacking. So it's not always going to be rosy. You're not going to make all your completions and make these big chunk plays to start out. And so I saw operation that was good before the snap, in and out of the huddle, really good communicating. Cadence was good. I thought his flow of the game was really nice. I also thought that his disposition when he had a little adversity on the sideline was excellent. Him working with the players, body language, demeanor never changed. He was always in there just working to the next one. And then finally, we got the reverse to Rome and got a big pass and those things. And got the DPI and the one red zone kind of stalled out there from self-inflicted wounds during that one. But, we did get it down there. We ended up scoring, and it was good. But overall, I thought it was a good day, a lot of learning. We'll look at the tape, and we'll get better from this. We got a short week coming up, so it was good to get those guys in there for those amount of plays.
What was your view of the roll left, the deep ball to Rome?
Yeah, so that was running away from me. So I've seen him do that a few times in practice. Obviously, very, very talented running, throwing on the move and rolling to his left, right? So it was really good. And Rome did a nice job of tracking the ball. It was no doubt it was a catch, and he did a really nice job.
If this is it for him in terms of preseason snaps, well, I'll ask you, is he going to play Thursday, number one? But if he's not, if this is it, what have you learned about Caleb in these preseason game settings?
Yeah, to answer your first one, we'll look at the tape and we'll just talk as a group. The players are off tomorrow, so we got the whole day to be able to really digest this performance from every level, including the quarterback. And then we'll just look at each other and say, yeah, this is good, or we'll have to, flow into the next one, and we'll see where that is. In terms of what I learned from him is what I've said all along. He always rises to the challenge. We'll challenge him again this week to improve on basically everything of quarterbacking that he needs to. And he's done that. He's done a really good job of that. And so we'll just look at it like that.
Did you adjust your plan to play him longer so we could finish with some momentum today?
No, that was the range that we had. So, we don't go into it and say, hey, we're going to play a quarter, or 2 quarter, whatever, quarter and a half. That doesn't work. So, how you do it is you say, hey, we're going to have a range of series and a range of number of plays. And then, like I said the other day at the presser, that's how you see the ebb and flow of the game. And guys are able to play until we say, okay, hey, that's good as a group. And again, I ultimately make that decision, but we like to do it that way.
We saw Ryan Poles looking at the turf a couple hours before the game started. Did you have any role in taking a look at it, and what did you make of it? Because it seemed a little beat up.
Yeah, so the turf, our guys do a great job of putting the turf down. The thing with this time was that it was put down a little bit later because of the concerts and everything like that, and hadn't been down that long. But it was, in terms of its safety, in terms of its play, in terms of what it was on the field, it was fine. It was good. Because the NFL obviously tests that. It was up to their standards. And again, once it ends up, being in there for a couple more weeks before the first game, it'll look beautiful.
You called a lot of blitzes, or a good amount of blitzes today. You came.
What was the percentage? Come on, Pat.
Preseason. But do you know what the percentage was?
I don't know.
Well, look it up. You came in with a reputation as a defensive coordinator, like to get the quarterback to perform. Well, how have you evolved in the last couple of years in terms of bringing the extra guy to the point to where you've got a guy in Kyler who's really comfortable doing it?
Yeah, we've had a couple of guys that's been good at it in the system. One of them's in the Hall of Fame, but I would just say that bringing that nickel slot pressure is a good thing. We've always done that. Guys have seen that forever, and it's nothing new. We feel really good about what Kyler can bring. He has a really, really wide range set, in terms of his skills. He's really good, in man, good in zone, good into all the things we do that way, and he's good at pressuring. So we like sending him, and he's good at it.
even though your backups are playing on your defense, how important are the takeaways to creating the kind of culture you're looking for?
Yeah, that's big. That's what we do. We like to stop the run and take the ball away. Set short fields for our offense, and we're just trying to play complementary football, getting those distances that we like. I don't think we did a good enough job on third down today. I thought we need to do a better job with that. But we should be getting off the field more than we did today, so we'll look at that with a critical eye. And but overall, the run defense was solid.
What's the lesson with Caleb on the grounding penalty on the first drive? The deep
yeah, so that's has to be under duress. I talked to the officials about that because I thought the pocket was pretty clean the entire time, and I think one of our slot receivers got jammed up and supposed to be coming out on that one, and so I did talk to him about it. I didn't think it was under duress.
Can you speak on Tyson Bagent's his performance in the third quarter? Really electrified the fans, changed the pace of the game. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, Bagent's always done that. We've seen him play in games last year. Did a wonderful job for us coming in there, and he's a good player. He really is, and understands the offense really well. Picks up things really well. Can chunk a lot of information. He's a really good rhythm passer. He really can throw on time. You saw that one, in cut right there, and then the seam ball. The seam ball, that's you have to have a little touch there and be able to place it in the right spot, and did a really nice job with that. So he's got all the angles, all the speeds that you need, and he's a talent.
How do you evaluate offensive lines without seeing the tape of Nate Davis? How would you evaluate his day based on what you saw?
Yeah, I would have to look. Because it's so hard to look at sometimes, unless you see something. A guy jump off sides or you see a guy get beat right away. It's hard to evaluate those inside players. The pocket looked pretty clean for the most part today, and our guys have been doing a good job with that.
You mentioned Rome on the end around. What do you guys like about him with the ball in his hands?
Just the speed. He's really fast. He's got really good speed. He's got a couple of different gears, and he's becoming a really good route runner. And he can track the deep ball. That's what he does. That's what he did in college. That's what he's doing here. So we're excited about him.
Couple more.
You talked about Caleb keeping a level head kind of when things weren't going well and when they were.
Yep.
What is your interaction with him on the sideline? And in what ways do you see kind of how his body language is influencing others when he's over there? And do you watch for that as a head coach?
Yeah. So we meet, a few times a week. We meet before the game. We talk about all those things that I talked about on the onset of this interview here, and he holds true to that. Because that's being a quarterback. You're supposed to be. Yeah, you have to be the leader, and he demonstrated that today by the way his demeanor was and the way he had poise and the way he came back. And eventually things are going to crack, and he did a nice job with that today. But we're always having conversations with that. I went back there one time and talked to him, just the interaction. Hey, we're going to get this next one going, and we did. But it's been good.
Matt, what are you seeing from Caleb in terms of scrambling to buy time, but it still looks like first thought is downfield?
Yeah, so in the red zone there, you have some things in terms of being able to extend plays. Every quarterback in the league extend plays in the red zone, and he does that. And he's very good at it. And he would have had a touchdown there if Rome, Rome has, obviously I talked to Rome after the game about learning where your feet are and feeling that out. But it's been good. It's been good. But again, there's a balance there between throwing the ball on time and then scrambling when you have to, and he has a good balance of that.